Welcome to Stay at Home Dads, a podcast.
With your hosts, Drew and Justin, a place where we talk about a lot of guy stuff.
And a little bit of dad stuff too. So kick back, relax, and let's talk. All right, guys, welcome to Stay at Home Dads, a podcast. I am Justin, here with my buddy Drew. And today we're going to talk about movies and maybe some TV shows that were influential or significant to us in one way or another. So What do you think, man?
So I'm just going to kick it off with what to me was like a game changer in movies. And I think that was the original Star Wars trilogy. It was just revolutionary when it comes to the effects, just everything about it was like new and people had never seen that before. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was. I mean, I feel like I've seen just all almost like CGI, but not. It wasn't CGI. It was all
Practical
miniature
effects.
Models and it was
they used puppets. Yeah, they literally blew up models. It was insane, and just the way they pulled it off. I mean, it created this world that we had never seen before. And for that time, like I said, it was revolutionary. So I'm just going to start strong with Star Wars because you can't deny Star Wars was a significant, it's a classic. It's a classic series that will live on forever as this thing that's just larger than life.
And now, are you talking about the three originals? Or are you talking about the whole cake?
Not the whole cake, because I think there's a lot of hate out there for some of the prequel stuff that happened. Right. Not to hate on it myself, I enjoyed them, but I think the original three were the game changing.
That was the big deal. I mean, in the storyline. I mean, the father and he didn't know that that's his sister, and I hope these aren't spoilers for anybody. But
I'm not even talking about the storyline. The storyline was classic because it was based on a hero's journey. It had this whole formula of, which is crazy because there's a lot of other movies that have followed the same kind of formula. You got Harry Potter had a very similar formula to Star Wars. In fact, we could do a whole freaking hour-long episode just about how Harry Potter and Star Wars are so similar, just in kind of.
I never that's kind of I've never thought about it. I guess now that you say that, I've legitimately never thought about it.
There's some really funny things that line up. It's damn near the same story, but it's obviously got different context and different worlds. But yeah, it's damn near the same story. So I'll think it out and I'll actually map it out better for you and have prime examples next time if you ever want to do this. But okay. So what's one of yours?
One of mine, and I guess I don't know if was super influential, but because it's super cheesy, but as a kid seeing this movie, I could relate to it on another level. I think and the movie was 1987's Sylvester Stallone in Over the Top.
Dude, yeah. Yeah, dude.
And I don't know why. I mean, I like the movie, but I was kind of roughly that same age as that kid.
So was I.
My parents were divorced. Granted, this kid's parents, the mom was dead because she died, and then the dad was getting the custody. But I feel I could relate to that. The dad comes in to save the kid from the grandparents or whatever, and he's driving this badass big rig, you know, and living his dream. I mean, whatever his dream may be is winning the arm wrestling championship, but which is so stupid. But I just feel
it was a classic 80s movie. It was so fun. It was so good. I watched it with my dad.
The dad spending time with his son, and he's this blue collar guy, and he's living his dreams, and there's the whole storyline. He's tearing his sleeves off the shirt.
He's in the cab. He's in the cab of his semi, and he's got a freaking he's got a pulley system rig where he's driving, but he's freaking going.
Yeah, he's working out
as he's driving across the country. All he does, and all he's doing is his right arm. Could you imagine the imbalance? How big his freaking right arm would be compared to his left arm?
And his hat too. Remember his hat?
It's turning on a switch.
It's like a switch that turns me on.
If you guys haven't seen this
changing
movie
my life.
and you're lost right now, check it out. It's 80s.
It's
magic.
80s cheese. It's
magic.
fun. It's fun to watch. It's classy Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah.
Yeah, the plot for anybody that hasn't seen it is parents are divorced, kid lives with the mom gets in the hospital, the mom passes away, so then the kid goes and lives with her family, the kid's grandparents. Well, the dad technically has custody, so he tries to get his son back. So it's a story of him getting his kid back, you know.
And at first the kid doesn't want anything to do with his dad. In fact, he's like kind of snobby about it. Like he's all like this rich kid. Like I feel like he was in like in private school or something. And he sees his dad as like this like freaking like blue neck, you know, piece of crap. And like he doesn't want to be associated with his dad. But then like he realizes his dad has heart. His dad's a good guy. Like he really like he feels like that connection with his father. It's heartwarming, but it's also just like a badass like testosterone.
Yeah, you know, I don't know. So it's just one of those movies that I felt like I could I really related with and kind of hit home for me, I guess, in a little bit, but not really. But anyways, what do you got? What's the next one you got?
Oh my God. So Batman 1989.
Okay, I should have known. Yeah.
1989. Tim Burton, Michael Keaton, Jack Nicholson. This movie was like, it revolutionized superhero movies because up until this time, superhero movies were super campy. You remember like the Adam West Batman, like pow, boom, blah, you know, like it was all like, you know what I mean? This one was the first time that Batman was gritty, was dark, was gothic, like Batman's supposed to be. And like how perfect was it that they got Tim Burton? Because I didn't even think about the fact that, I mean, he did like Nightmare Before Christmas, Corpse Bride, Beetlejuice, like his wheelhouse is like a gothic dark world. And what does Batman live in? Gotham, the gothic city. Like it's such a perfect, I didn't even realize how freaking perfect that like director was for that until now. But
that movie was good. Honestly, that's like probably, like thinking about it, that's like the first like superhero quote unquote movie that I feel like I can remember seeing and remember watching. Like I don't nothing significant sticks in my mind prior to that movie.
Yeah.
And seeing and just very, like you said, very dark, very gritty, very like not so boom, pow, bang, you know, with crazy, super crazy costumes. He was in the all black.
Oh yeah,
you know, fighting the crime and kind of trying to, what was the main, how did Jack Nicholson get it? I mean, he was the Joker, but I guess it's been so long since I've seen it. So
yeah. So basically when it comes to that movie, I want to say that it kind of like paved the way for like people to realize that superhero movies could be taken seriously, could be dark, could be realistic, could be gritty. You know what I mean? And like before that, superheroes, it was always like fun and just kind of like brightly colored and stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong, they kind of went like down a bad path later with Batman, where like what was it, Batman and Robin or something, where it was like Mr. Freeze and like it got super Mr. Freeze. It got super cheesy because we had like was that George Clooney played Batman in that one? Like that was horrible.
Was it Jim Carrey was the Riddler?
No. That was before. That was Batman Forever. And that one like I still kind of like that one, even though it was getting kind of the cheese factor. But then after that, it got like just completely like garbage. So in my opinion, sorry.
But that Tim Burton one was like the start of like the birth of the new darker, you know, Batman in that kind of era, which is still played today, even with with what's his name that's played Batman, the newer ones anyways.
Like Christian Bale and
those darker still kind of having that dark kind of feel. It's kind of carried on, you know, through up until then, you know, with some of those films.
It's influenced like these later Batman movies. But all right, so enough of Batman, because I could go on obviously. It's my grapple gun back there. That's actually a Batman poster right there. I might like Batman a little bit.
Maybe. Really? No, I hadn't noticed. Sorry.
I don't know. I might have a tattoo or a half sleeve of, never mind, Batman. But But yeah, so what's your next one on your list?
My next one is Don't Laugh at Me. It's a movie that I didn't see until I had kids. It wasn't even on my radar until I had kids.
I know what this is.
It's animated and it makes me cry.
Oh
The
my
movie
God.
is
I know
the
what it
movie's
is.
called Inside Out from like 2014, 2015, somewhere in there.
You recommended this to me, and my wife and I watched it, and I
Yeah.
can't even tell you how much we enjoyed it. It was like, we thought it was gonna be like cheesy. Like it started out kind of like dorky, we thought.
Yeah.
It got so good. It was so good.
Yeah, it just like pulls like all these little things, and especially now that you have a child, and when that kid gets older and gets this personality, like that's when it hits home for me, is like, talking about this. So the movie's about like essentially what goes on inside your mind, like that your faculties of like anger and fear and sadness and happiness, like all these different things, and each emotion is played by a character.
Yeah.
Well, this little girl, has all these things going on in her life, and you just see like this pain and sadness in her, and these things that she's doing, and these things that she's feeling. And like that really like kind of tugged at my heartstrings, like thinking of my own kids in those situations and scenarios. So like I legit like cried. Yeah. And there's like a part. There's a part.
I know the part. It was where
the
Bing
part
Bong.
with freaking Bing Bong.
Bing Bong.
Man.
Okay,
Bing
let's
Bong
not.
Gets me. So.
Let's put like a spoiler alert, because if you haven't seen it, there's a part with Bing Bong where Bing Bong does something where Bing Bong's like her imaginary friend she has when she's a little kid, and at some point like she kind of like tosses Bing Bong aside, and he's still like in her memories, but he's not really.
But he's like slowly fading away.
But he's slowly fading away. And Bing Bong does something to basically sacrifice himself for the greater good, and I'll just leave it at that. That might have actually been a pretty spoiler.
No, it's fine, and it's like just like, oh my God, like every time that gets to me. So movie, and especially having kids and then watching that, just it's very relatable to me, and very like it kind of did change like maybe my thought processes and like certain things on being, how I interact with my kids and being so hard on them, or simple things or whatever, but that's, I'm not saying it's one of my top 10 or top 5 favorite movies or anything. It's just a movie that very, very much affected me in a way. So
for sure.
What do you got?
For my next one, this is like really juvenile, but I will say, like, if we want to talk about movies that like blew our minds as kids, the Ninja Turtles movie that came out with like Jim Henson's, like he made like the suits and everything. Like, I don't want to dwell on this too much, but like I was a huge Ninja Turtle fan, and when Ninja Turtles dropped in theaters, like the live action, I thought that was pretty impressive myself.
Is that with where they were kind of like in suits, but they still look like turtles?
They were actually in suits. It was all live action. Like they had like the Foot Clan was actually like people like dressed as ninja. It was amazing. And just for me, like seeing them go from like comic books to cartoon to like the big screen, I was like just mind blown. And
how old is that movie, do you think? Is that like a mid-90s flick?
I feel like it came out around the same time as Batman in '89, but I can't remember exactly what year it was, but it was right around like the Batman time. So we got like Turtles and Batman like back to back. It was like I was like 9. I know I was 9 when Batman came out. So like Turtles was like right in my wheelhouse. And I was just like, oh my God, Turtles, Batman.
You were like blown away. You're like, Batman, Turtle, like all this like going on.
And they were solid movies. And like, I think they hold up. Like even today, if I watched both of those movies, even as an adult, like I think they're still pretty well done. So
can you imagine being like, I wish I could go back in time and see like the Toys R Us toy line when like in like 1991 when these movies are coming out, like what those toys were, they were freaking badass. Like, they were cool,
dude.
I don't know if any of our listeners really think about like, I know you grow up and you move on, but dude, just take a reminiscing walk down the toy aisle sometime.
Yeah.
If you have kids or don't, and just like, dude, it'll like jog your memory and you'll think so much stuff is so freaking cool. Like just do it. It's fun. Yeah.
So like I said, I don't want to dwell too much on Turtles, but that was one of those movies that at the time my mind was just, do you have any more, or? I think I have a couple more, but I want to hear yours next if you have any more.
I got one, and I think you'll appreciate it. It's not really, it didn't really influence me. It might have just like opened my eyes more as to like life, like not more than, I mean, I know there's a lot of like movies like this, but like of life on other planets and things like that. And I really liked it, and it was done really well, and it was Avatar.
Oh, that was a good one.
I feel like, and I mean, it's what, how old is that movie? It's got to be freaking 10, 20 years old, 15 years old, maybe.
Oh God, when did that come out?
Mid-2000s, but anyways, it doesn't matter. Yeah. But just like, you know, like space travel of like legit, like not super like phony, but like going to another planet that's
was amazing.
To Earth, and then mining. Like, I feel like that's like exactly what the human race would do. Like if they found something special on another planet, is like, let's just tear it up and let's mine it and let's take it for what it's worth. You know what I mean? And like, and then the graphics in it, and then just like the different cultures coming through, and seeing, you know, the indigenous people, and then, you know, they kind of got infiltrated. It's just like a good storyline, and the good graphics, and just like a good, I don't know. I just like it.
I loved it. And I think a lot of people probably feel the same way I do, where I wish I could have joined like that alien tribe and like lived in that world of just like being one with nature, and like sleeping out in those trees, and like riding those weird like dragon things, and like
you know, just cool. I mean, it's just I don't know. It's just that one. That's just like, that's one that's like in my mind. It's not like it influenced me in any way, shape, or form, but it was just like, you know, like that's just like a really cool movie that maybe is kind of, I don't know. I mean, movies are designed. What's a movie designed for? A movie is designed
escapism, like
it's an escape. Exactly. You know, so I always get kind of frustrated when I watch movies with people and they overanalyze certain things, and they're like, well, why did that character do this? Or how is that even possible? And I'm like, just like sit back and appreciate it. It's a movie. Like, just relax.
I'm guilty.
Yeah,
I'm guilty.
I understand
of
that. Like,
sometimes.
I understand Vin Diesel can't jump a car over a bridge and then land it and then drive away. Like, I get it, but it's a movie. Like,
you're talking about Fast and Furious, I'm assuming.
Yeah, you know, like which Fast and Furious actually were movies too that I like. You know, 2001, like that first one. Like, it made me get into the racer scene, like the quote unquote race scene. Like, I bought like a Mitsubishi Eclipse.
I remember that one.
And I had like, it had big wheels on it, and it had a stereo system.
It had ground effects. Didn't it light up underneath, or did it not?
Yeah. It had like lights. It had some lights.
It had lights on the side.
Did
it have ground? I don't remember if it had ground effects, but I know you had like lights on the side that were blue that the cops like told you were like illegal or something to have.
So that, you know, honestly, like, I didn't even think about talking about Fast and Furious, but like that movie, that movie did influence me.
Okay. I just realized that we barely scraped the surface. So I feel like a lot of these show topics are so like ginormous, like the scope, we could probably revisit these, because I didn't even like touch upon Lord of the Rings. There's Lord of the Rings, like, we got to do a whole show just about Lord of the Rings, I feel like, because you and I saw like the opening midnight shows together.
Yep. Yeah, we saw those in the theater when they opened. Yeah, it was
that was back in our 20s.
That was a long time ago, dude.
That was like, back in our like mid to early 20s. Oh my god, dude. Like,
yeah, so I mean, we do definitely have some room to grow on this. So any listeners out there, if you guys, you know, have any awesome movies you want to talk to us about, you know, definitely hit us up and let us know.
Or if you'd like to hear us talk about any certain movies that like were significant to you, like if we agree that they were significant in our lives, we would love to talk about them. So I think we might want to make this like an ongoing segment where we do this. I agree. Definitely, we could go on and on and on about these movies that we love. So.
Yeah. Well, all right, guys. I think that's about our show today, and thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time.
All right, catch you next time, guys. Bye.
All right, that's our show. Thanks for watching Stay-at-Home Dads.
You know the drill, guys. Blah, blah, blah. Hit that like button. Subscribe.
We'll catch you on the flip side.